the right steel before you can heat treat, because some steels do not have enough carbon in them to get the hardness. So you need this. What we're going to use is approximately 1% carbon. There are other steels which you can heat treat, but the Rockwell hardness, which is the scale we use, won't reach hard enough for us to use it as a cutting tool. Like crowbar steel, you can only get to about 50 Rockwell, the maximum, but you have the tensile strength in it. If you want to have a steel for cutting, you've got to be at least 60, 58, 60. You can go higher on that scale, up to probably 65, but the fine edge at 65 and plus is so brittle that it can chip. So the best range is between 60 to 63, and that's what we try to achieve. Now the 1% carbon, you have to reach a temperature of at least 1550. Now if we have a furnace that you have gauges to measure it, but you can also use the colour. So we're going to try and heat this to a red colour, almost changing to orange, and that's about 1575, 1600 degrees Fahrenheit. And then quenched in the oil, and then I shall go on the grinder and clean it up, and then draw it back because it's too brittle at that stage. So I've got to draw it back, and I'll use colour to bring it back to the colour, to the temperature I want. So I'm going to draw it back to a straw colour, and that should give us the Rockwell hardness that we need. So I'm going to use MAP gas, and right here I have the oil. It happens to be 1030 motor oil, but the oil that we use in the heat treatment plants has a fishy smell, which I suspect it's whale oil. But I'm just using motor oil. I'm going to heat it up, and you'll see the colour. I can see it on the screen. And this is called drill wood. It's 1% carbon. You see the colour changing, and it's now blue. It's absorbing quite a bit of heat. It's just beginning to change colour now. I don't know if the camera can see the end of this, what they're focused on. Can you come in closer with the camera? Can you come closer? Okay, you can see it now, eh? Now it's getting a nice red colour. I'm going to bring it up a little bit higher. These bright lights are not helping me. It's nearly there. All we need is just a tip there, hard. Now it's quite bright. Now we're going to quench it. They used to use water hardening. Steel, but I don't think it's even available now. And the reason why they run away from that was because in certain dyes with sharp corners in the dyes, and also they got surface cracks, so that they've gone away from that, and now they use different steels, also different coating methods. So that's the first part of the heat treatment. Right now, that steel is very confused in there, and all the molecules now are all tight, confusing with each other. Now we've got to calm them down, because they're all pushing and shoving each other, trying to find a good position in the steel here. So now we've got to pull it back. So we're going to have to polish this. So now I'm going to reheat it, and I heat it up slowly, and I want a straw colour. Great tip, yeah. It's changing colour now, and you can see it. And heat from below, and there's a light straw coming, a very light straw right now. That's about 65 rock all now. Almost there. I'm staying away from the point. Okay. You see my helper here. Okay. So that should be around 60 rock wool now, which is good hard now for cutting. Okay, so that's the process for hardening and tempering.
Thank you. Assuming that we've hardened our steel, we'll do our thing now. So these are the rods I've been using. They're 3/16 drill rods. I've had some at home from many years because I've been to a demo where they showed us how to do them, and they had these things. They're called flare nuts, or 1/4-inch flare nuts, and there's a thread on the inside. Now we can either just work our wood and just glue it in, or be more complicated and we'll thread it and screw it in. That's what we'll do tonight. I have a piece of Sibyl. Never turned it. The other awl I made was out of this also. It's from South America. Beautiful wood. Very nice. You'll notice that my chuck has been converted. It's a #1, but I've cut the pins because after a while, #1, they tend to open and that becomes useless. So I cut them off and keep them short, that way I know they won't open. Anyway, I don't need 1.25 pins, 1/4 of an inch is good enough. The pin is 3/16, that's what we'll use to drill a hole in the center. I go in, I made a mark, 1.25 inches, because my pins are short. Had they been longer, I would have gone deeper, but since they're short, we'll go with that. This thing is 1 inch long. It's a 1/4 inch diameter for about 5/8 of an inch, and it's 7/16 for about 3/8 of an inch. So I'll start bringing this down for 1 inch to 7/16, and then we'll keep on reducing. Something like that. 7/16, you can use a caliper or a key that has been sharpened to fit in there. Right on at 7/16. I'm a little loose, which I wanted to, this is where I wanted to get to, but normally I should have stopped at 7/16 and show you how to mark the wood and then just peel off the markings that would have brought me exactly where I wanted to, but I am where I wanted to. 3/8 for that. So this here has to come down to a quarter. I didn't have a 1/4 inch key, so I'll have to do it by hand. This looks pretty good. Homemade steel, by the way, which is same type of steel as the one we're using tonight, except it's slightly bigger. Okay. Now, I'm going to reduce this slightly because I don't need this much wood here. Okay, for now, we are going to tread it, but before we tread, we put CA glue on it to harden the wood. Even though it's hardwood, because the treading eats the wood, you really have to harden first. I use a 7/16 20 TPIs, which is the same as the ferrule. Now the fun part. You have to go slowly back, in, out, in, out, in, out. I'm always pushing in because I can't, the thread won't pull it in. I gotta push it in. It's the same as doing metal. You have to work in and work out to get all the dirt out. That looks pretty good. And just a little long. Again, 2 1/4 inch. That mark is there.
You didn't lock the,
Thank you. That being done, we're gonna glue this and the ferrule, where did it go?
right over, I had it on the tape. Right there, Pierre.
On the vice grip. We're gonna test it before we glue. Okay, it's gonna go in. So I use Gorilla Glue on this because
It swells, expands.
yeah, it expands and it takes all the space that you need. So if there's a void somewhere,
That's very good.
it's gonna occupy it. But we'll do as if it's dry. Just to push it in. Okay. Screw this in. Okay. This is brass and it turns with woodworking tools. But just to make it simpler, I use a file to do this part here where there's a lot of bumps. It's gonna make my life slightly easier. There's a little bit of wood coming out. Okay. That's it. Now you turn the handle the way you want it. One thing that is important is to make a flat surface on top, or this is fairly flat even though it's a ball. But if I hit on it with my hand, I'm not hurting myself. So that's why I usually make them like this. And you can knock on it, and you can even knock with a hammer. It's easy with a flat surface. Hardening tool. Cut it off here, giving it a slight convex shape. And hardening tool because I want to put a little mark in here that I burn. We'll do a little bit of sanding. Look at it before I part it off. Bring it down a little bit more here. In order to have it convex, I'm going to go toward that way, slightly. Now I'm going to put my Jacob chuck in there. finish it off with a little bit of white foam poly. And that's it. So as I was saying, to mark the center of a piece is always useful. And the way I do it is, I lean it on my thumb, and I can come to a point, a precise point where I want it. Let's say I want it to go at the junction of these two lines. I just lean it against my thumb and I'm dead on. Bang. Hey, happy turning.